I've said this before, but I will say it once more. 'Cause I do this thing where I repeat little things, but I add to them. I'm trying to perfect this thing that I started back in 2017. It makes me sad how I lost my former vehicle. I totaled her, that's what happens when you pull out in front of someone. And I could chalk this up to being a woman and mistakenly having a license. But then again, even if it was illegal for me to drive, we still would. And that's why I hate women's rights. Women's rights are for the most uncreative bitches. You already have autonomy, no matter what they've made you think. You already have everything you claim to want. You don't need anything. But women, you know that they need every motherfucking thing. That's just the way they're wired. And you can't make it go away. And hopefully some of them are aware of this to some extent, but most of them, well, you've seen them. You definitely heard them. They make their presence known. They can never be alone. Me, 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 too. Get it? Get it? Get it? They'll never pull through, 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 they'll never pull through. Well, because they stop believing in men, they stop believing in masculinity. And I think that most of them that subscribe to this shit show of a political ideology, they're so confused. They've been convinced that they were abused in some kind of way, either by every single man in their life, or by the system, the patriarchy in general, whatever that means. If there were ever patriarchy in amerihahahaha, it's been ripped from the seams, so it's kind of foolish to keep talking about it, but at the same time, that's what they do. That's what everyone does when they don't have a solution to the problem, and believe me, the problem is you. There will always be a problem till you can't accept the problem, just the problem. Maybe it's a solution, or maybe you should stop focusing on it, and it won't be such a big deal. I totally lost train of thought. I totally lost where I was going. I'm so sorry, Vortex. Fuck. Oh, you were talking about women. Well, I know that. No, I was talking about women. Oh. How they want rights, and it's like dumb. Because, like, yeah, just do whatever you want, man. Like, why do you need the state? Why do you need, like... This is what I'm saying, like, women want to act like they're so brave and strong and courageous, like, and just watch how they fucking whine because they can't rip out their offspring in all 50 states. You know? It's like, if they were all the things that they claim to be, like, all this stuff that feminists claim, it's like they wouldn't react the way that they're reacting, you know? And I'm not saying that, like, women should kill babies, but, I mean, they're already fine with that. So, it's like, I don't think there should be clinics for that. I have a very unconventional view of abortion, okay? So, obviously, I think abortion's murder, but I think that if you're cool with murder, like, you should do it yourself. You should take responsibility for that. There shouldn't be, like, a doctor that does that in a clinic. That's, more times than not, paid for by our taxpayer money. So, like, that's the main reason why I say that. And I also think that these women will be really horrible moms anyway. So, there's really, like, no way to win in a situation like this, because abortion's obviously bad, any way you look at it. But, you know, being a single mom and being a really shitty mom, you know, that's really terrible too, you know. I would hate that for that child. So I'm always thinking about that. I don't just think about the baby in the womb. I think about the child, like, growing up with that bitch, you know, and it's like, if she doesn't even know she's pregnant, and she doesn't even, like, know how to tell the dude that she's allowing inside of her to pull out before he ejaculates, if she doesn't even know how to do that, then what makes you think that she should carry a child? And it's not just about, you know, being a mom. It's about giving birth to the thing. Like, what makes you think she's not going to drink and smoke a bunch of weed and, you know, like, do all kinds of things during her pregnancy that are going to negatively impact that baby? And so this is what I'm talking about. That's the bigger picture that people aren't looking at. Like, this is why, like, I'm way more, like, of a misogynist than, like, most people that say that. Because, like, I can see the bigger picture of all of this. Like, I don't think that it's just women that have abortions that are heartless. I mean, I see this with single moms. I mean, how many horrible examples do you need in, like, family court and divorce court? But, you know, the state encourages them to act like that. The state always encourages bad behavior, because anytime that somebody behaves badly, it's good for them. And based off of identity politics, and based off of, you know, race and gender and hate crimes and all this shit, it's like they can make so much money, and not even just, you know, actual cash, but, you know, if that's a news story, like, that's money for the news people. That's, like, sorcery in action. They get to alter people's behavior, and, you know, then it causes a bunch of havoc that way, and that always generates some kind of revenue, if you think about it. So, anyway. I just think that people need to be punished for bad behavior. But it's like, I really wish that we could have, like, a monarchy that was comprised of, like, Orthodox Christians only. You know, that would be ideal. Because we could get everybody to act right. But at the same time, I don't think that people should be coerced into acting right. But it's like, well, what else are we going to do, you know? It's like people aren't going to act right on their own. You know, we've seen this. We've seen enough examples of that. You know, I think that the way that society is, it does not allow for spiritual growth. And without spiritual growth, it's like we're all dead. You know? It's like, what's the point continuing on? Well, I'd say, like, yeah, that's the majority of society.